Hey guys, welcome to the fourth video on our Onshape Basics series and the second video on the phone holder desk tidy thing. Alright, you're going to have to excuse any background noise. There is a massive storm outside, so anywho, so last time we made the basic base shape and we did a cut. Today we are going to focus on this cutout for paper clips and erasers, USB sticks, or whatever. Okay, we're gonna initially start off by doing a construction line down the middle of this area here, and we are going to use a center point rectangle to get that shape. Essentially, it's going to be a 75 mil long one, which is offset by 2 mil on either end. Okay, and we get that started, shall we? So I'm going to go ahead and open my model from the last video. Here we are. We're going to base the sketch off the top surface, not the top plane, the top surface of our model. So sketch, select the sketch plane. There we go. Right click, view normal to sketch plane. Okay. Now I want you to notice that if I highlight this edge here, you can see this dot there. Okay. That dot is the center point of this line, the one that's highlighted. And because we're going to use a center point rectangle, we are going to draw a line of that down this direction and expand it and dimension it like so. So that line has to be a construction line because we don't want our extrude function to recognize it. We just want this for our benefit only. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select line, which is next to the center point rectangle or rectangle, whatever you've used last, and hover it over that edge until we get that box around the center point and this little line dot icon there. I'm going to click, and if I just move it, you'll see that it snaps to the horizontal, and when it does that, there's another a horizontal line below it. So I'm gonna make it about that long, hit escape and get off it. Now you're going to go up here next to that letter A. You're going to see another project one, and next to that you've got this straight line with two arrows pointing to and from a dotted line. So that is your construction line. Okay, read that text box that comes up, but we want to essentially convert this into a construction line. So I'm going to click the line first and then click construction, and you can see that it just broke it up into a dotted line. Now to get out of this, you actually have to just click somewhere else. Okay, there we go. That's our construction line. Now you can see that this dot over here is blue, which means it's not defined. So we can click and drag that around. So let's make it about that long, and click the blue dot, go up to here. These are our sort of limits. Okay, we can lock our points up in space, more or less. So I'm going to go ahead and click fix. That'll convert this to a black dot, and you'll see that you can't move it anymore. Right? That's the first thing. Now the next thing I want to do is to make this rectangle. So you're going to use the center point rectangle, and I'm going to base the center along this line, but not on the center of that line. If you click it here, it's gonna constrain it, so you can't move it anywhere after that. So I'm just gonna move it around maybe here. Just draw a basic box, whatever shape and size, doesn't matter. All right, escape to get out of that, and now let's define it. So we've got 2 mil from that top edge and 2 mil from the bottom edge, and one side's given as a 75 mil length. Okay, so let's do the length first. So I'm going to click on our dimension tool that we learned in the last video, long end, and 7.5, enter. Okay. Before I do anything else, I'm actually going to move this rectangle to the inside, so that if I dimension that at 2 mil, it's not going to do 2 mil on the outside. It'll make sense in a bit. So I'm going to do this 2 mil over here, 2 millimeters up there, enter. Don't need to worry about the bottom one here because it's a center point rectangle, which means that distance is equal to that always, so really doesn't matter. And here is 2 millimeters as well. There we go. Now you can see that that entire rectangle is black, which means it's defined. That thing is not moving anywhere. Okay, go ahead and get out of the sketch. There we go. So as you can see, we can't really split this into two because there's a construction line there, and that's not going to be recognized by our 3D functions. So we have to now extrude this down. So cut it down to a depth of 10 mil. Okay? So extrude, click, change the direction, remove, 10 mil, enter. There you go. Done. So that's that for now. Okay, so once that's done, we are going to go ahead and make our cylinder area for the pens and things to go in. Okay, that's going to be done in two functions. First function, we are going to draw a circle on that area here, as you can see, and we're going to extrude it up, creating a solid cylinder. And then next video, I'm going to show you how to draw a smaller circle in here and cut down to a depth of 80. Right? So let's go ahead and draw it first. So we're going to go on sketch. We're going to sketch on the top surface still because we're still working on that surface. Click. There we go. Face. Make sure it's correct. Right click. View normal to sketch plane. Okay. Don't worry. This will orient itself either way. As long as you're looking straight down on it, it's fine. Okay. And we're going to quickly draw a circle here, and we're going to place it 30 mil from this edge and 30 mil from that edge, the center of the circle, and the circle is going to have a diameter of 60 millimeters, so that each of these edges are tangential to the circle, which means they're just touching that circle at a point, right? I'm going to do that using the center point circle again. I'm going to click. Make a circle smaller than the area, just making sure it doesn't go out. I think there's no problem with it going out this time, but just good practice again to make it smaller than the actual size you want to do, so it'll always expand when you dimension it. Okay, now this center point, if I pick it and hold it, I can move it around. I can move the whole circle around. Okay, so we want to lock it 30 mil from each edge. We're going to do that by using the dimension tool. Click the center, and then click one edge, and measure that, mark it as 30 millimeters. And so we did this edge now. We're going to dimension and hold that edge, call that 30 millimeters as well. Okay, now that center of the circle is 30 mil from each of these edges. And still in the dimension tool, I'm going to set the diameter of this circle to 60 millimeters. Right, there we go. And hit escape to get out of the dimension tool. Escape done. As you can see, we've got this circle touching these edges. Right, go ahead and confirm the sketch. It's done. Now we're going to extrude a circle up to a height of 70 millimeters. Okay. Just as we did with the boxes. Alright, extrude. Now, we are adding to our existing body here. We are not adding a new part, so we're going to go to add. We're not removing, we're adding. Solid surface. Faces to extrude. It's this one over here. Alright, gonna go ahead and click that. You can see it, you can pull this up, whatever. To whatever height you want it to go, or the easiest way, the most accurate way is to type in 70 over there, hit enter, make sure it looks good, and that's what you want. Go ahead and confirm the feature, and we will leave that for today. Well done, guys. One step closer to having a finished desk tidy. Alright, so next week, I'm going to cut a hole in here, and we'll cut this part. Oops. Cut this part out as well. Now, should have told you this a few weeks ago, but if you did lose your work, just hit F on your keyboard and your project will come into full view. Okay, awesome guys, stay safe, have a good one, see ya.